Scranton Reads, 2008. The Maltese Falcon. Welcome to the third of our series of talks on the Maltese Falcon for the Scranton Reads project. If you looked around at this set and you thought to yourself, this looks like an apartment, maybe the living room of an apartment in an old building, we'd be very glad. Jason Wolf, our cameraman, director Jack Finnerty, and I, because what we were trying to suggest, even though we are actually in a corridor of the Scranton Cultural Center with the kind permission of Mr. Matt Flynn, the executive director, what we were trying to suggest is what it would feel like to walk into Sam Spade's apartment, if somehow that were possible. Because that's where a great deal of the action in the Maltese Falcon takes place. It's important to make that imaginative leap, I think, because so much of Hammett's novel takes place in Spade's apartment and in other ordinary, average-looking rooms in apartments, offices, and hotel suites. The characters are all city people, and they are scrambling, fighting, and scheming in the close confines of a big city. And when we say a big city, we're not talking about tall, gleaming glass towers or glamorous stores and famous restaurants. We mean the seedier streets and shabbier buildings in the sections where people can be anonymous, especially when they need to be. Today, we want to look more closely at the Maltese Falcon, at the setting, as well as the plot, the characters, and the style. And in order to do that, we have to start by considering the point of view, or the viewpoint from which the story is told. That means he reports only what a neutral observer could physically see and hear. His narrator's voice does not comment on or analyze or pronounce judgments. He just presents what happens, and we, the readers, are therefore compelled to come to our own conclusions about the significance of the events and the characters. This unadorned, non-directive point of view was quite popular when Hammett was writing this novel, owing to, among other things, the influence of Ernest Hemingway's stories and novels. The neutral stance also affects the construction of the plot. We are not, for example, given anything substantial in the way of exposition, which means an explanation of the situation, the time period, the setting, or the characters. We are simply plunged into the principal action when Bridget O'Shaughnessy walks into Spade's office and spins out her first lying version of why she needs the help of Sam and Miles, his partner. Miles's murder, then, happens almost immediately, and from there, true to the murder mystery tradition, the plot is built upon the following questions, which the events first imply and then answer. Who killed Miles? Who killed Thursby? Who can Spade trust? Where is the Falcon? Is the Falcon genuine? And most important of all, will any of the conspirators, including Bridget, escape the consequences of their actions? Violence happens, of course, and it includes, but is not limited to, the murders, but in keeping with the claustrophobic nature of the settings. The chief tension comes from the face-to-face confrontations among the characters, as they all struggle to get answers to the questions mentioned above, and to get or keep power in their relationships with the other characters. More specifically, Gutman and Cairo want to have the upper hand in their psychological duels with Spade and Bridget. Spade maneuvers to control Gutman and Cairo. Spade also tries to dominate the slippery Bridget, and Bridget does her best to deceive and outwit everyone.